Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be doing a foundation review. I haven't done one of these videos in a really long time, like it's been a while, but this foundation I'm really excited about. It's going to be the Beauty Blender foundation. So this is kind of going to be a first impressions because I haven't tried it before and I'm really excited, but I've heard quite a few people talk really good about it, and one of the main persons that comes to mind when I think of this foundation is Tati. Like, she raves about this foundation. This is one of her favorites, I think. And so I was in Sephora and I was shopping the VIP sale, and I got a few good things that I want to talk about in an upcoming video. I saw this foundation and I didn't necessarily want to pay for it, so I got the sample because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not. So I got the sample size and we're going to try this out today, and this is going to be my first time. I'm excited. So as you can see, I've already done my brows and I've already done the top part of my eye. I usually always do my eyes first. I'm like really complicated when I'm doing my makeup. I do my eyebrows, then my eyes, then I go to my face, and then I go back to my eyes, and then I go back to my face. It's just a lot. But yeah, I'm going to be wearing this foundation throughout the day, and I'm going to be giving you updates and check-ins, and we're going to see how it looks at the end of the day. And I am reading on the Sephora website right now. I have the Beauty Blender foundation up, and I was not aware that this is supposed to be a matte finish. It says in the details that it's going to be a weightless liquid whip foundation with a multi-dimensional velveteen matte finish. So maybe it's not going to be full matte, but anything matte like scares me. I am still excited about this foundation because there's so many people talking good about it, but my skin is so dry right now. Like I don't even know. Like I'm a little nervous. I did do a lot of skin prep before I sat down to apply this foundation. I did a little under eye mask, I did a face mask, and then of course I did my moisturizer, and I've already primed my skin. So like I'm ready to go. This foundation has a 3.9 star review on the Sephora website, which is okay. But for the most part, the reviews sound pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I've noticed without my bun, it's kind of hard to keep my hair off my face while I'm doing my foundation. And so I've got my ears on, which I'm a little nervous about because I get really bad migraines. I can never predict when I'm getting them. I've had them for years and years and years. Like, it's just been an ongoing thing. Sometimes I'm able to function because I'm like so used to it at this point, but other times they completely put me out for the day. And I kind of feel like the steps of a migraine kind of creeping up on me today. So I'm just like hoping that nothing happens, and I'm hoping that these ears don't trigger anything, but I need them to keep my hair off my face while I apply this foundation. Blech. Okay. Am I weird for smelling my foundation? It kind of smells good though. It has like kind of a Play-Doh-y smell. So I'm gonna take the tip of this eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna dot it all over my face. And I'm going to apply half of my face with a sponge and half with a brush just to kind of give it a fair shot. I don't know if that's going to be too much or too little. It claims to be really full coverage, so we'll see. I'm going to go in on this side of my face with a sponge. And I'm using the Flower Beauty sponge. It's one of my favorites. Okay, I already have some thoughts on the sponge side, but I'm going to go ahead and apply the brush side, and then I'm going to zoom you guys in and we can talk about it. Okay, I've got it applied on both sides. This is the sponge side and this is the brush side. And I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Okay, I'm not sure how much you can tell on camera. It blended out really nicely on both sides. This side in particular is the drier side of my face, so to be fair, that's why I use the sponge on this side. But I do have veins that show down here, and I have some breaking out on my skin, and I layered it up a couple of times just to see how it would do, and it still didn't cover that area completely. And that could be because I used a sponge, but it does claim to be full coverage, and I used 2 layers. I mean, it layered nicely, it didn't cake up, it didn't like do any kind of weird bunching or anything, but I can still see my veins, which those are hard to cover, but I just wanted to point that out. And up on my forehead, you can still see my scar, you can still see my like breakouts. And at first when I was applying this, I thought it was going to be extremely dewy, which I was a little thrown off by that, but it kind of settled down some, and it does seem a little dewy, but I think that's just because of all the prepping that I did in my skin beforehand. Now my skin is like extremely dry. I just did like a crap ton of prepping before this. Okay, and on this side, again, it blended out really nicely. There's definitely a lot more coverage going on this side, so I really like that about the brush side. I'm not 100% sure if you can tell on camera, but I have those veins on this side, and I can see them a tiny bit. I can't see them nearly as much as I could see them on this side, but I can still see them a little bit. But yeah, I definitely prefer the coverage of this side. I think I prefer the finish of this one, even though the coverage isn't as intense, but I think that's just because I'm not really a fan of matte foundations in general. I do notice a little bit of caking up on my nose on both sides. It's worse on the brush side than it is on the sponge side, but that's just because one, my skin is extremely dry to begin with, but I've been really sick the past couple of weeks, and I've been blowing my nose nonstop, so my skin around my nose area is like particularly like desert dry. And it's not bad bunching either, I just notice it a little bit, which is better than some of my foundations that bunch up around my nose when it's extremely dry. So I'm not mad about it, I just wanted to point that out. And up on my forehead, I can still see my breakouts a little bit. I can see my birthmark over here, but overall I think it looks pretty nice. I don't notice it settling into any lines at all, which is really impressive. And also, this shade is a really nice match for me, so I really like that about it. Okay, so we are going to see how this foundation wears throughout the day. It's going to be like 80 something degrees here and really humid. I live in South Carolina. The humidity is ridiculous. So we're going to see how this wears throughout the day. All right, I'm going to finish up my makeup and then I'm going to check back in. Alright, so I finished up all of my makeup. Everything's looking really nice. I didn't set my foundation down with a powder. I typically don't do that, so I didn't do that today just to give it a fair shot. I'm noticing it's a little shiny up in between my eyebrows and my T-zone, but I don't think I put a ton of foundation there. I think I just put like a really tiny little dot, and that's common for that area anyway, even though I do have really dry skin. Everything's looking really nice though for the most part. Even though the coverage isn't the best on this side, I think it still looks really nice, and this side looks good too. My nose is a little bit like I can kind of see it sitting on, but again, that's my nose. I've been sick, my skin is really dry. So I don't know if you can see this with the background on my phone, but it is 10:30 in the morning right now, and I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the day and see how it looks at the end of the day, and in between I'm gonna give you guys check-ins. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so I'm outside, and it's kind of been a struggle to find some lighting that isn't like too blinding that's gonna wash me out. I just wanted to show you guys what this foundation looks like in the like direct sunlight outside. I feel like it looks really nice. I mean, it's only been 30 minutes. I haven't been wearing it long at all, but sometimes you'll do your makeup and you think it looks good, and then you go out in the sunlight and then it tells the truth. So this is what it's looking like in the sunlight, and I think it looks really nice. So I have some editing to do. I don't know what else I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day, but it's so hot outside. It's literally 80 something, and again, humidity is ridiculous. So I'll just keep checking in with you guys and see if there's any updates or changes to how this is looking. Hey guys, I'm outside again. It is 3:30, which that means it's about like 5 hours since the time I originally started, and I'm sitting outside right now waiting on my daughter to get off the bus, and I figured I would do a quick check-in. There is a difference. I've noticed, well, one, I've eaten a really greasy burger, so it is definitely caked up. I don't know how much you can tell, but there's definitely cakiness around my chin. It's kind of like trickled off my face a little bit. The foundation on both sides is completely off of my nose now, but honestly I don't blame it because I've been blowing my nose like crazy. But the highlight is still there. I think that's kind of funny, but either way, my foundation is kind of broken apart a little bit on both sides, but mostly towards the bottom. Around this area on both sides it looks kind of good. It's broken up around my T-zone, but not crazy bad, just enough that I notice, and it's broken up around my forehead, and that's probably because I was like crazy dewy to begin with, but it has broken up there, and it is shiny, but I haven't touched up with powder or anything like that. So, but yeah, it's been about 5 hours, and I figured I would give you guys another check-in before I do my final check-in at the end of the day. Still the 5 hour mark, maybe like 5.5 at this point. Autumn, how does my foundation look?
Good as heaven.
You didn't even look at my face.
It just looks that way.
Look at my face and tell me what my skin looks like.
Good as heaven.
It don't look bad?
No.
Does it look like skin or does it look like makeup?
Skin. Comment down below what you think Mommy's foundation looks like, because I just think it looks pretty.
Thanks, baby. Okay, guys, it is now 8:13 p.m. and I would say that's about a good 10 hours or so of wear time, just about at 10 hours. So given into consideration that this foundation wore for about 10 hours in the 80-degree humidity outside, and I wasn't outside for a lot, I was just outside here and there throughout the day, but I didn't do anything extremely strenuous. I was just walking around and it's like extremely hot, and I have naturally dry skin, but I did prep my skin extra today, so I did have like a little extra bit of juice in my skin today, I guess you would say. But yeah, this foundation was supposed to be like a matte kind of satiny finish, and I'll give it that. I would say that that's how it kind of settled down, at least like in the main areas of my face. Now up here on my forehead it's extremely dewy, which I don't mind at all because I have really dry skin. I really enjoy a good dewy foundation. Like the dewier the better, but the thing about dewy foundations is they usually settle into my smile lines, and I have a smile line right here that gets really bad, and I have forehead lines. But I will say, even though it didn't completely last as a full matte foundation the entire day, that it didn't sink into a single line all day long. And I do this expression like a lot. And I have this like really intense smile line that some of my favorite foundations just like by this time in the day it would be completely caked up in that line. And this foundation has not gotten into a single line, and I find that extremely impressive. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in so you can go ahead and take a good close-up look at my face and see for yourself. Excuse my mascara transfer, and my lip is completely gone. I've done a lot of eating today, but yeah, it's completely dewy and it is not in a single line. I will say, as we noticed in the beginning, that the sponge side is a lot more sheer than the brush side, but both sides kind of faded in a similar way. I have no foundation left whatsoever on my nose, and that's because I've been blowing my nose like crazy. No new news. And the foundation around my mouth area is gone, and that's because I've done a lot of eating. For a lunch today I had a really greasy burger, and then just a little bit ago I had some lasagna, and I ate a lot of greasy foods today, so I wouldn't expect less from any other foundation. Honestly, it did a pretty good job. I did notice about halfway through the day that the bottom half of my face, and I guess it was after I got through eating the first time, that it was looking kind of cakey like everywhere. But I don't know, I guess it kind of settled down or settled into my skin a little more, and I don't notice that anymore, which is a little odd. But I don't know, I've been checking my skin constantly in the mirror today, and there were parts where I was like, I don't know, this is not a very good foundation. And then there were other parts where I was like, wow, I would definitely buy this foundation. So I guess the verdict for now is that there is no verdict. I will definitely have to keep wearing this a few more times. I'm definitely going to use my sample up all the way, because even though I don't like a matte foundation, it didn't settle completely matte, and it's even dewy up on my forehead, which I really like. Even when it gets too dewy, all I have to do is this and then it's gone. And the fact that it didn't settle into a single line all day long, that just completely blows me away, because I have not met a foundation yet that doesn't at all settle into anything. So this foundation has a total of 40 shades, and it has a pretty decent shade range. It didn't have a lot of shades when it first came out, but they've been correcting it and they've added a lot more shades to the mix. And it also retails for $40, so 40 shades of $40. I feel like $40 is a bit pricey, but also I think it might be like kind of an average foundation shade at Sephora. I don't know, I don't typically buy $40 foundations. I feel like that's a lot in particular for a foundation, but for a foundation that stands out above all my other foundations, I think it could possibly be worth it, because a little bit did go a long way, and I'm definitely very intrigued. I want to keep wearing it, and I want to keep gathering thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments below if you try this foundation, if you have, what you think about it, or if you want to try this foundation, or if you don't have any interest in this foundation at all. Let me know in the comments below and why. I'm very interested in your opinion on it. But yeah guys, that is all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button before you leave. Subscribe to my channel, come back, hit that notification bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. For now, I'm uploading on every Monday and Friday, so you can look for me then. And yeah, thanks for watching. I think I already said that, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. So this is gonna kind of be alright, I'm gonna finish up my makeup. Okay, so I finished blah. It's in my hair.